Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Mars Vaughan Bonzi. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I'm actually revisiting an image that was first publicised I think about 2014, 2015, and this actual image got quite a lot of publicity when it was first published. I think the guy that originally brought it out was called Thomas Jensen, and he has a YouTube channel called Mars Moon Space Photo Zoom Club, and I think he's he done some good enhancements on this. I think Art Alien as well, he's done some really good enhancements on this particular image, and like I say, it did glean a lot of publicity at the time because it does seem to show 90-degree angles, straight lines. There looks like a lot of artificiality there, and I agree with that. For in my opinion, is that it is artificial for what my opinion's worth. It is artificial, and people call them ancient structures on Mars and ancient buildings, that sort of thing. But when I look at these images, I always like to look outside the box. This looks like a box, by the way. But I always like to look outside the box when I look at these images, and I've done the same with this particular one. I'm not sure exactly what the resolution is. I couldn't really find it. Maybe if you go to Thomas Jensen's webpage, and you might have more technical details. The official name for this is the Stratigraphic relationships west of Tenius Cavus, forgive my Latin, on the planet Mars, and it seems to show like ridge patterns or small canyons, and as you can see, these square structures are inside some kind of ridge. There's the canyon walls, or the ridge walls if you like, coming down this way. It seems to be built within the crevasse here. Can you see the straight lines? Now I don't want to get too bogged down within this, because Mikey, Thomas Jensen and Art Alien have done some good enhancements, etc. of this. What I want to show you is what I think the main reason why these structures are shown in the shape that they are, why they look the way they look, and why they're placed in that particular way. Maybe they are practical structures, maybe people lived in them, maybe people travelled along them, but I think the main reason why these structures are placed the way they are is more for artistic content and artistic design, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. And this is why you've got to look outside the box when you're looking at these images. Just let me show you the image once again a little tiny bit closer. Okay, I'm really only showing this particular structure for people who might not have seen this before, might not have seen, might not have either seen the publicity at the time. So as you can see, there definitely seems to be straight lines, artificiality, this unusual circular feature, and there's the side, there's the cliff or the ridge side of the cliff face there. Okay, let's come on to this. Now I'm going to show you the reason why I'm showing this old image again, and you may agree with it and you may not agree with it. See what you think when you have a look at it, and I'll show you some of the enhancements I've actually done on it. So if we turn it round, let me just go back here. Okay, it's now horizontal, and here are those unusual structures there. Can you see that? There's the round circular feature there, and there's the straight lines. Okay, and this is the reason why I wanted to do this image again, because I think what we're looking at here are two sculptures portraying human beings or humanoids. If you look very carefully, you can see here the head. Can you see that? It's got eyes, nose and a mouth. It's even smiling a little tiny bit. It's wearing some kind of hood. You see that? There's the shoulder, and then there is the arm. It comes down and across. There's the other side of the arm. It's even got ridges along here. I don't know whether you can see that. It's even got ridges, the type of ridges you might get in a jacket. I know that might sound absolutely crazy, but I think this is how detailed this image is. It's even got something pinned to the front of its jacket here. And then you've got the leg comes down here, and it even comes out into the shape of a foot. Can you see that? And then the heel, and comes back round. And here on the left hand side we've got another hand. Can you see that? And the fingers are here. I don't know whether you can see that. It's most probably very highly eroded now, this side here, but you can see it. Now just bear with me just while I open that again. What it appears to be now is that we've got a man standing here, and he's looking in this direction. Yeah. Now those 90-degree angles and straight lines and what looked like artificial structures and the round feature now to me look as if it's a box that is tucked up underneath his arm. Can you see that? And in the box is that round circular feature. That's what it looks like to me. So that's why I was saying before that the structures have been placed there in such a way that when you turn this image around horizontal, you can see that it's portraying a man or a human being or a humanoid, and he's actually carrying something now, like a box or a case. For me, you can even see like a latch there. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like some kind of latch on a briefcase or something like that. But you know, that's the impression I get. And here, this to me looks like a baby. It looks like a baby that is trying to stand up or is crawling forward, but that's what it looks like, a young child. So we've got two geoglyphs, two images, a human being and a baby here, and they're both integrated into the side of these ridges, and that structure is now a box, and it looks as if it's tucked underneath his arm here. Look at the arm. You can even see where the ridges are. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant. Just let me come out to that one. I've enhanced these particular images just to try and show you more detail within the image. So if you just go to the what looks to me like a human being. Now just look at it carefully. But I've changed the contrast. I've darkened it a little tiny bit. The only thing I've done to the image is the contrast, the brightness, and sharpened it a little tiny bit. That's all. I haven't altered it in any other way. Quite reasonable enhancements. Nothing's been added and nothing's been taken away. And to me, it looks like a human being. And those structures now looks like a box or a briefcase or something, and that round circular feature is now in the box. Can you see that? You can see the eyes, you can see the nose, the mouth, the lips even. You can even see the lips, and he's wearing some kind of hood on his head, his shoulder, his arm. It's anatomically in proportion. Say you've got the head, you've got the arm, you've got the main body area, you've got the case, the legs, and it comes out as a foot, an ankle. This is left hand sticking out there. I just don't think that's coincidental. I think it's a artistic impression, artistic sculpture, and have used the light and shadow and the contours of the ridge to produce a human being. And that's why those structures are mainly straight lines, mainly full circle and straight lines, because those structures were an integral part of this artistic design of this human being that we can see. So if we come out of that, and I'll show you the baby or the child, the juvenile, just on its own, so you can concentrate on it a little tiny bit. And that's what it is. As far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what we're looking at. They've used the ridge and contours to produce the likeness of a human child. The eye is actually an entranceway. I've had a look at this really close up, and it's like a platform, and if you were to stand on that platform you could go inside like a giant cave. That's what the eye is. But you can see the head comes round, the nose. Now it has got a mouth, and it's got like a slight smile on it, like it comes up that way, as if it's smiling. It comes round. There's its arm there reaching forward, and its leg is bent at the knee. It comes up. Its back leg is straight down. This is behind. It comes along. This is back. I don't think it's a coincidence. I think we're looking at the sculpture in the ground of what looks to me like a human child. Now I'll just go back to this particular image here. Okay, so I hope you can see that. I hope you can see it clear enough. If we just That's the original image, the way it was shown a couple of years ago, so that you can see the artificial structures here in this region. And I think that's the reason why these walls are all very straight lines, and why that unusual feature is in a position it is, because when you change it here, it makes sense now. It makes sense. You know, is it a coincidence that these structures are integrated into what looks like two massive sculptures? I think it's more than a coincidence. I really do. You know, these sculptures are being etched, if you like, into the side of this ridge, into the side of this canyon, and they've actually altered the surface and the walls of the ridge so that the contours and the shadows, when seen from a horizontal upright position, they blend together to form these two human figures. They must have been artisans of absolute pure genius. They really were. You know, look at the arm, look at the sleeve. It's rumpled. You know, there's small even spaces that give the impression of a rumpled sleeve. Look, how absolutely amazing is that? The details in it are absolutely fantastic. You know, the attention to detail is absolutely mind-blowing. You know, in fact, the structures, when viewed on their own, look unusual, but when considered as part of the overall complex of design, they make perfect sense. As a case or a box being carried by the sculpture of the man. You know, the circular feature looks like the contents of the box now, doesn't it? I think so. You know, so now we can see why you've got like the apparent structures, the straight lines and the walls, 90-degree angles, the unusual circular feature. They all correlate and connect and back up, if you like, the possibility that those sculptures are an integral part of the entire area. They back each other up. They both correlate with each other. You know, to me, the structures are like secondary to the artistic design of the human sculptures, which I just think are absolutely wonderful. I think we've got a very strong message here. We've got like a man and a baby, a father and son. I call this image. You know, does it mean continuity of life and for the culture that built these fantastic works? It must, you know, it must have been a really strong message. You know, I think the culture or civilization that built these were masters of art and design, and I think they must have coupled that with a practical need to live and survive in what may have been the harshest of environments. If they lived here in you know, the way Mars is at the moment, it's so inimical to human life. They must have had some technology, amazing technologies to survive. You know, so I'm asking you the question: is it imagination? Is this just natural light and shadow forming the outline of two human figures, which seem to be integrated into those 90-degree angles and round circular feature, and they look like artificial structures? You know, is it all natural? Is it just geology? Is that just rock and sand? I think it's very unlikely. Very unlikely. You know, but you be the judge, and you decide yourselves what you think it is. I think we're looking I know it's the planet Mars and it may seem crazy, but this only backs up what I've found in other areas on Mars, and I think that's one of the main secrets to discovering what this civilization was all about, or civilizations. They loved terraforming or Mars forming an environment, and they integrated their buildings and structures with artistic design. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope it's given you a little tiny bit of food for thought. I for one think it's highly unusual, and I don't think that what we're looking at here are natural at all. I think it's got to be given strong consideration that we're looking at sculptures designed by a former civilization on the planet Mars. Okay guys, thanks very much for taking the time to watch. I do appreciate it, and I'll have another video up very soon. Thank you guys, bye bye.